All right, so let's just maybe try to wrap it up regarding 4 reasons to be unhappy and how to actually becoming a little bit happier in life or satisfied in life. If we were talking about self-fulfillment yesterday, which is a big part of our lives, to feel happy and to have a better life, another aspect of that is the ability to give to others, give from yourself to others. The greatest source for self-satisfaction is always connected to a substantial amount of giving from yourself to somebody else. In Hebrew, if you look at the word happiness, how do you say happiness in Hebrew?
Simcha.
No, osher. Simcha is joy. Osher. Me'ushar. Ani me'ushar. I'm happy. Me'ushar. Me'ushar is also from, what's a me'ushar? Hatofes me'ushar. This document is approved. Osher comes from the root of ishur. Ishur is to approval. So, and you see also, be'oshri ki isheruni banot, as it says in Bereshit Lamed, right? I was approved by a lady, so I was happy, I was satisfied. And the reason is because the subjects which are connected to osher, to happiness, are directly connected to appreciation of something, of a person, of a person's actions and his character himself. If I appreciate, for example, Yoav, right? So Yoav will feel happy that I'm appreciating him. And why I appreciate him? Because I, quote unquote, approved his actions, his personalities, and this is how we go. Which becomes a big problem in relationships between husband and wife, and even children and parents, any kind of a relationship. If you don't have that sense of appreciation, let's switch the appreciation to approval, you in a way have a motion of rejection. I'm not approving you. And I'm not approving of your actions, and I'm not approving of your personality. And as a result of that, you are not happy. I'm not happy with you, and you're not happy. Okay? You should know, we spoke about it before. I was talking to my wife about it on Shabbat. We spoke about it before regarding Korach and Moshe Rabbeinu, when the world is kind of divided between givers and takers, right? From the time of as the Ramban writes, from the time of Cain and Hevel. The world is divided between those who give and those who always take. My wife pointed out to me, I was talking to her, she says, wow, that's amazing, because there is a book that she was reading. I think the name of the book, if I'm not mistaken, is called Givers and Takers. And in life coaching and so on. It's like a leadership book. However, she pointed out that then there's another subcategory of those who give, but only because what could I get out of that? But people who give, they just give because they want to give. They see an opportunity to give, and they feel lucky that they had the opportunity to give, and therefore they tap onto it, they jump on it, as we say, kemotzei shalal rav. Like you find great bounty, wow, that's a great opportunity, I want to give. And there are people who are always those who take. They're always looking to receive. And some people who would say, you know what, let's say for example, I don't know, Eitan, let's say for example you give something, I'm giving some things here, you have a bundle of things to give. There are some people, I don't know, you give him books, argument's sake. And let's say I'm a member of this club of the takers, okay? And I see a book that I already have at home, and maybe I have 2 copies at home. It does not make a difference that I have a copy, or I don't even know how to read it, or I don't even like it. However, I'm just going to take it because You give it, so I'm going to take it. Doesn't make a difference what it is. Somebody gives you, you take it. And it's a very bad habit. Look how wise Chachamim were when they say, Soneh matanot tichyeh. He who hates gifts shall have life. What do you mean? So if I get gifts, I'm going to die? No. But when you are always looking to get gifts, your life is not life. How come you didn't give me anything? It was my birthday. How come you went to Mozambique? You didn't get me anything. How come you didn't do this? How come you gave him, not me? This is not life. That's not life. So yes, the world is divided between those who give and those who take. The question is, who makes it in life further? Who will be on top? Those who give or those who get? You would say, oh, listen, if it's freebies, I'm going to... No, on the contrary. What happens is those who give usually end up to be the leaders. They usually end up to be the ones on top. Because that's the way it is. You give, you can determine. Those who always looking to get are always going to be at the bottom, and they are always going to feel bad. They're not happy. They're angry. They're not satisfied. They don't see anything in life. Look at certain segments in our society, in this country. There is certain segments in our society, and regardless what politicians say, because the intent of some politicians, if not all of them, is to keep those groups on the taking side, so they can always give them, to create a dependency of this group upon them. Therefore, when it's times to vote for me, Uncle Sam is going to give you everything, and therefore you're going to vote for me. I'll give you your free this and free that and free this and free that. However, those groups of people are always on the edges of society. They're always bitter. They always are involved with crime. They're always involved with chaos, and they never seem to make it. The reason is very simple because of that. That's why, in a way, social lifestyle, like socialism, does not work, because it creates bitterness. One side will say, why do I have to give you all the time? And the other says, why aren't you giving me all the time? I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm a billionaire. I worked very hard. I built my empire from scratch. I became a billionaire. I made myself a Walmart, that kind of a chain. I worked very hard. I did nights and days like were nights, and everything was. I sacrificed my family life, my love life, my hate life. Everything was work. And now I became 70 years old, or 50 years old, or whatever years old, and I'm a billionaire. Why should I be taxed more? Why are you making a different bracket for me? Why? Are you penalizing me for working hard? You're giving an incentive for somebody who doesn't. You give him, he is in no bracket whatsoever. Why is that? It's not fair. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm moving out. I'll go out. I'll go somewhere else. I'll go to a different country. I'll move all my bank accounts somewhere else. I'm not going to give you jobs. It creates a lack of equilibrium in our society. If we're all equal. Make everybody tax, 25%. Everybody pays 25%. They'll give you an incentive to go to work, make more money. Here, what should I work? If I work more, I make less. I don't get. And why is that? Because it's encouraging people not to work, not to get on with their lives. Or just make it, guess what? No tax for anyone, or make it like minimal tax, 10% tax across the board for everybody. However, no social welfare. You have a chance, go work. If you're going to work, there will be work. If you don't want to work, there's no jobs. That's the way it is, isn't it? So that is how we divide and we control. We control societies. We can control societies by division, not between rich and poor, but between givers and takers. That's also a negative way. So if I'm making you always to become a receiver without allowing you to contribute back to society, you'll become bitter, because then I am not approving of you. I'm not approving of you, of your culture, and that's why we have racism in this country, and so on and so forth. Or the same thing with, let's say, affirmative action, right? Why should people of certain color have a right to colleges more than others? Affirmative action is only for African Americans? Well, how about Indians? How about Chinese? Chinese get also in affirmative action. How about I'm a Jew? I'm a minority. I should get in. How about, I don't know, an Eskimo? Well, where does it go? Where does it end? It's very simple. We all get the same education. We should all be equal. That's the whole purpose. However, you could look at it from another point of view. In terms of happiness, if I can give, I volunteer, I give for myself, I find this within me to give, I become very happy. I'm becoming happy. Now, so when you give because it's an opportunity for you to give, not an opportunity for you to control people. Everybody should be in the giving side. How do we give? We contribute back to society. We contribute back to our people. And as of that, we could start developing ourselves. And we can develop ourselves as individuals, and we develop ourselves as a nation. A nation that is not a giving nation does not develop. And the society does not develop, it dies. A person that doesn't develop evaporates. It becomes meaningless, insignificant. That's why we say, Olam Chesed Yivaneh, a world of kindness should be established. Kindness, not necessarily that there's always going to be somebody to give. Kindness means, I'll open the door for you. I say, please, Chavod, you go ahead of me, not a problem. When you are involved in the act of Chesed, it means that letting somebody, you see somebody is in a big rush, in a supermarket, let him go, let her go. It's okay. That's kindness. You see a person open the door. So he needs to open the door. He carries, open the door for them. Whether it's a man or a woman. Some men would not open the door for women because it's sure to look at the woman. So don't look. Open the door, look the other side. I mean, mad. It's just those things. So when you don't give, that's the thing. And when I'm able to give, and I'm creating a sense of approval, right? And the more I give, the more meaningful the giving is, the greater the level of satisfaction. It goes hand in hand. The more you give, the more satisfied, the more fulfilled you would be with your life. If you're not fulfilled with your life, it means you're not giving. You are a receiver. Look at this. You can examine your relationship, for example, with your parents, right? When you're home with your parents, at a certain age, it's like, give me. Give me all your loving. Then you start fighting with your parents. Because when you become a little bit more bar-dat, a little bit more knowledgeable, you understand that there is a certain sense of approval. Your parents always give you, and you always demand, and that doesn't, all of a sudden, you just find yourself in a greater, conflict with your parents. Because your demands increase, and then they say no, and then you get upset. But it seems like kids who are poor did actually better with their parents. And even for yourself, after you move out of the house, you get married or you move out of the house for whatever reason, slowly the relationship kind of, I wouldn't say heal completely in all cases, but it gets a little bit more tolerable. And that's the reason. That simply is the reason. It is very, and our society doesn't help us. Social media, like what's the name? Facebook. When you say something, it says like. Or you go to, I don't know, talkbacks, the thing, they do a survey. How many people, he said, oh, this guy is a moron. Okay, I press like, I like this, It's very easy today just to press like and so on and so forth, or to write something very stark on a talkback on the computer and so on and so forth. But it's very difficult for you, for example, to write a long letter. Letters is something that is really greatly missed in our society. Letters are very, very important. People wrote letters, and you hold them today and you read those letters. It's like, it's I'll tell you, some of those letters that people wrote are better than the novels that are written today. In great length and emotion and so on and so forth. Who writes letters nowadays? You know how nice it is to get a letter? I remember I used to have friends in the United States. We used to send each other letters. A phone conversation was a fortune. I remember when I came to the States, calling Israel was $1 a minute. You spoke 5 minutes, it's $5. Spoke for 10 minutes, it's $10. So we used to write letters to each other. And it was so nice getting a letter in the mail. You see, the person took the time to write something for you personally. You see his handwriting or her handwriting. It talks to you. It's wonderful. We don't have this today. However, the level of getting a satisfaction with getting a letter is much greater than getting an email. So you come here to something that the greater the challenge, the greater the reward, the satisfaction, the feeling of satisfaction, of fulfillment. So if it's very hard for you to feel like you can go find a very challenging thing for you, for example, I don't know, let's say for Sam it will be hard to work with retarded kids, So go ahead, Sam. That's what you do. You find a great challenge by something like this. You don't find the path of least resistance. You find something that will really challenge you. And that in a way kind of goes hand in hand with what we said previously about going on a trip. For example, you go to a place like from America, from living in Queens, New York, or living on Long Island, in the Five Towns, right? Capital Jap of the world. You're going over there in Flatbush, you're Brooklyn, right? You're going to these places. All of a sudden you go to India. You're landing in Bombay, Mumbai. Noise, the smell, wow, great challenge. For whatever reason, you seem to be more satisfied coming back from there than you're living all your life here. It's challenging you. Don't be afraid of challenges. We run away from challenges. We are afraid. We are so petrified that most of you have never traveled alone. And I think it's ridiculous. You never traveled alone. What are you telling me? You're afraid of yourself. You are the one who is asking everybody to approve you. But you are the one who disapproves yourselves more than anybody else. You're not willing even to live for the challenge of yourself. You always have to go with a herd. 50 guys can go together. 2 guys. 1 guy. Learn to deal with each other. 1 guy. You learn to deal with yourself. To challenge yourself. The summer is still long. Go travel. Don't go. You don't have to go to Europe. Travel. Go take a Greyhound. Don't go flying on a plane. Take a bus. Take a bus. And then just get off somewhere. You want to know how good you are? Get off somewhere. And make it from there. Isn't that great? Well, why are you laughing, Yeshua? It's a great idea. Or if you want to be a little bit more, it's expensive though. But go on a train. The first train that goes anywhere, that's where you go, and you take it from there. Give yourself a month. You don't know where you're going to be. You don't know what people you're going to meet. But you don't want to challenge yourself. You're disapproving yourself. You're very unsatisfied with yourself. The greater the challenge, the greater the opportunity to give. Go. That's why there's a good program. It's called, the OU has a program called Seed, where they go to places, and they challenge themselves. They go to deal with people that need chizuk and so on and so forth. Young guys, they go. And they sit down, they learn with balabatim, they learn with kids, they challenge themselves and so on and so on. My son is doing that right now. He went somewhere. He's the kind of kid that goes. He'll take his stuff, he'll go. He'll go somewhere, he'll do it, and he'll come back, and every time he goes, he's better than he was before. And that's what you should be doing. Find yourself a way to give. You can travel because of different things. And by the way, you don't have to travel to the other side of the world to find that. You can do it here. For example, let's say you have a friend who is not as stark as you. Bring him to Yeshiva. Make him into your project. Find it within yourself to give him. Learn with someone. Be mechazik them. Support them. Take somebody who is weak, somebody who doesn't learn. Let him experience Yeshiva. Bring him to learn. Let him experience what we're doing here. Take him, care. Do something in your community. We have a minyan here for the Chevra on Shabbat, right? Besides what we have here, to do a special minyan on Shabbat. Give to this minyan. Don't go to a ready minyan of people who smell like mothballs, like old guys. Everybody is like sitting on $50 million and doesn't even sneeze your way. Because everything there is ready, everything is made. You don't have to do anything. Come here, help us. Become a part of something. Learn how to give. Prepare a shiur, prepare an aliyah la Torah. Well, okay, argument's sake. He prepares Kohen, you prepare Levi, he does Israel, this one's Levi, and so on and so forth. That preparation that you do for the reading of the Torah of Shabbat for the sake of helping gives you tremendous satisfaction. And you can start from that. Take on Shabbat. The guys are learning here from 2 o'clock. They're learning here. Bring a bunch of your friends. Be mechazik them. So guys, there's a learning area, come and learn. Give them, help, support the minyan, support the yeshiva. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about supporting by actions. You want to go help money? It's fine, not a problem. Go collect money. Give from yourself. What do guys do in Purim? In Purim, instead of getting drunk, they go collect money for the yeshiva. Because they want to give. But if you don't want to give, it says a lot. It says a lot. Help your mother. Help your parents. Let your mother, one Friday, you wash the floor for her. Help somebody else in your neighborhood that needs help. You have somebody in the neighborhood that needs help, an elderly couple. Help them. Say, guys, you need me to go somewhere. I'll take you, I have a Friday off, argument's sake. You need shopping, I'll do shopping for you. Give me a list, I'll go shopping for you. Help somebody. The more you help, and regardless of who they are, without any distinction between race, sex, religion, just teach yourself to always give to anybody. Be kind to anyone. And you'll see what a difference it will make into your lives. A tremendous difference into your life. Not everything you can put a price tag. And I'm sure you cannot put a price tag on your happiness. I'm going to tell you, being happy is free. All you got to do is give. If you're going to say, okay, let's say, for example, let's say you have difficulties in, I don't know what, Spanish learning, right? And let's say I speak Spanish. So I'm going to tell you, listen, how much per hour? So I help you, it's nice. But I lost an opportunity to actually teach myself to give. Give. Help. Tutor. Now you understand why when we say, Ma'ani bechinam, afatem bechinam, I gave you the Torah for free, you should give it for free. That's why we should all become teachers and guides and helping. And you should know that. Teaching is a very, very big opportunity to become a giver. However, one of the biggest fields of greatest burnout is teaching, because you give so much and then it's completely disapproved, right? Because the system always takes away from you in order to give you back. However, that should not stop you from giving. Help build, help establish, give from yourself, and I guarantee you'll feel much better about yourself. You'll feel much happier, much more satisfied, and much happier. Really, much, much happier. So have a happy giving day.